Distressing, embarrassing, unforgivable. They're just some of the words used to describe the state government's latest scandal. Former Transport Minister David Campbell faced the media today, sombre and apologetic. This time yesterday, he'd just resigned, forced out by revelations he'd visited a gay sex club. Now he's admitted he's been living a double life for more than 20 years. The Premier says Mr Campbell made the right decision to quit, even though he didn't breach any ministerial guidelines. More from state political reporter Matt Wordsworth.
Before the pictures even hit the airwaves on commercial television last night, David Campbell had tendered his resignation. The scandal, the Transport Minister using his ministerial car to visit a gay sex club. By 7 p.m, he was using a government car to flee Parliament House to be with his wife and children at the family home near Wollongong. He strode back into the media's glare this afternoon.
The last 24 hours has been particularly difficult for me, but it's nothing compared to the difficulty that my family has confronted. I've apologised to them for it. I apologise to the community, and I accept responsibility for the situation that I've put my family and myself in.
But he denies compromising his work or breaking any rules. Ministerial guidelines allow the use of cars for private purposes. Mr Campbell also released his phone records from the night of the F3 accident to disprove suggestion he was at the gay club.
Well, the Minister's sexual preferences or sexuality is essentially a private matter. There's nothing about this that's in the public interest.
I think the kind of double life rhetoric that's being used raises a broader question about why certain kinds of people, not David Campbell in particular, but why people feel the need to hide their sexuality.
But while the Premier joined the call for compassion, she also condemned his years of silence.
It is distressing. It is, in fact, unforgivable that he lived with a secret, that he misrepresented himself to his wife and to his community and to his colleagues.
Mr Campbell has been offered leave to work things through with his family.
I've made some personal choices which have put me and my family in this situation.
It echoes the last sex scandal to rock New South Wales Labor.
I have to say that I regret the personal decisions, the personal choices that I made.
John Delabosca admitted to an affair with a 26-year-old woman and quit his cabinet post. A year earlier, Matt Brown resigned as police minister for the infamous underpants dance. Before that, Milton Orkopoulos was jailed for 14 years for sex offences. Today's drama means even more upheaval with yet another cabinet reshuffle. John Robertson now takes the critical job of Transport Minister. But the revolving door at Government House may prompt voters to sweep Labor out of Penrith next month and out of government next March.
And Matt Wordsworth joins us now from Parliament House. Matt, how much damage has this done to the Premier and her government?
Juanita, Karen Palazzano forced a by-election in the seat of Penrith after admitting to lying to the ICAC. Now, that's going to be in 4 weeks and 1 day, so we're not going to have to wait long to find out. And it's this upheaval caused by David Campbell's incident because there's another trip to Government House involved to reshuffle that cabinet. There's been 12 in 2 years, so the government's running at roughly one reshuffle every 2 months. As for Christina Keneally as Premier, this is not one but two scandals on her watch, so she's following in the footsteps of her predecessors.
Now, you've been talking to a lot of people today. Is there any sympathy out there for David Campbell?
Yes and no, Juanita. You only have to look at online to give you an indication. The Sydney Morning Herald has been running a poll on its website asking readers to say whether they think that David Campbell should have resigned. Now, about 60% are saying no. Radio station 2UE also asked its listeners if the picture should have even been aired, and 70% said no. But you only have to look at the online comments to say see that there's plenty of people who think that he showed a lack of honesty and a lack of integrity. And so if his career also still has a pulse, he's determined to stay on as the Labor MP for Kirra. And Christina Keneally was asked if he would regain a place in Cabinet, and she said she wouldn't rule it out. So it appears that she does have some forgiveness.
Matt Wordsworth at State Parliament, thank you.